Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my 50-hour update of my journey using the Comprehensible Thai YouTube channel. If you're like me, like many Thai learners, you're looking for the best resources to learn this language. And I stumbled upon this series because of Reddit. Of all places, Reddit is an amazing place to learn things. Even though sometimes it can be full of hateful comments and discouraging people, Reddit is also pretty useful at finding things in general. So anyways, this is going to be my 50-hour update. So if you're somebody like me who is looking to learn the language in an effective, concise way, and also not spend too much money trying to learn the language, this is completely free. And this is going to be, again, my 50-hour update for what you can expect if you're starting your journey in the Thai language and considering using this program. Now, if you're starting off using this program, don't be like me and just start off watching random videos in the series. That's what I did. They actually put playlists in the YouTube description. So when you go to the website, make sure you go to the YouTube description in order to see the actual playlist so you can start off in a logical way and not start off on a level that might be a little bit too difficult if you're starting completely from the beginning. Now, for this 50 hours, what am I basing it on? Do I have a stopwatch? Am I constantly watching the time that I'm learning anything Thai related? No. What I'm basing this entire 50-hour review on is going through the entire B0 series. So if you start off on their playlist and the recommended way of viewing them, they start off with B0. And this B0 will be the very basics of the language, very, very slow, but very real life stuff, such as going to a supermarket, shopping. Even though they do spend a lot of time on fruit, I'm very surprised of how much time they spend on fruits and vegetables in the series in general, but you do spend a lot of time learning the basic things that you would use every day in the B0 series. Now, I'm also currently in the B1 series. I finished the first 100 videos. So I'm kind of basing it around those videos being right around 20 to 30 minutes for each video. I just, about 2,000 something minutes or so. So altogether have over 50 hours of using this program. So I have some real life hands-on experience of what is it like and how is it used in everyday life here, even in Florida. So if you didn't know, I'm in South Florida, and there is a nice sized Thai population down here in South Florida. There's an entire Thai temple down in Miami that gets quite busy. There's tons and tons of Thai restaurants, Thai markets. So I have an honest and good opportunity to practice my Thai language comprehension and ability here in South Florida. Also, my wife is Thai. This is also helpful, but because of our busy schedules, I can't just sit there for hours and practice with her. So I get to try, little bits and pieces. And this is going to be a general overview of what I can understand, what I listen to, and what am I able to do after 50 hours and what to realistically expect after studying for 50 hours. Now, let's start off with the easiest ones. So number one would be my reading ability. From 1 to 10, my reading ability is still 0. That is right. So the YouTube channel focuses on learning the spoken language first from just listening and listening and listening. My other methods, I focus mainly on listening as well and repetition of listening and listening and listening to the language to hear the tones, to hear words, sentences in natural order and repetition. So of all my study methods, they don't really focus too heavily on the written portion. Now, I did start learning the alphabet independently away from the YouTube channel, but if I'm being quite honest, if I saw a Thai magazine or a Thai script or a Thai Facebook post or anything in Thai written, I would have absolutely no idea what it means because I don't have enough practice reading Thai yet. And that will come later. And I know a lot of people say you need to learn how to read first. That's great for you. Leave it down in the comment section below if you feel like you have to learn how to read and write first. Or do you feel more of a natural method that, kids learn by listening, repeating parents, and listening and hours of repetition? And the people who speak languages the best, not just academically to read books and write paragraphs, spend a lot of time listening and listening and eventually speaking the language. That I met countless amount of people overseas who've been studying English for many years and still can't speak English as well as somebody who just naturally watched American movies or enjoyed listening to American music and had tons of content pumped into their minds in the English language. So again, my reading ability is still zero. So right now, that's my current level is zero. It has not changed. My vocabulary level, though, if I hear a word, so if I'm just thinking of overall vocabulary about how many words do I think I currently know, it's well over 1,000. I know that for sure at this point, just because of my Asimil book, the other books I ran through, the amount of words I know just by listening, my vocabulary level amazes me right now. So after 50 hours of the YouTube channel, I can safely say that a lot of context really surprised me in everyday life. And where it surprised me the most is restaurants. So again, I go to Thai restaurants pretty frequently down here in South Florida. When I hear somebody order in Thai or go to the Thai market, when they're buying something, when they're ordering food, pretty much 90 to about 95% I understand everything, what they're ordering, how much it is, the spice level, sweetness level, sour level, everything in that regards to food. I know food is really important in Thai culture, and they talk about food a lot that I've learned, especially after learning the language, is that the food portion, oh, there's a humongous iguana right over there. Hey, iguana. Usually there's multiple ones, but I'm completely amazed with my vocabulary involved in food and everyday life things such as supermarket, buying things, reading, studying. A lot of those things in general, my vocabulary is large enough for me to understand most everyday things at this point. Now, if it's something specialized like going to buy a car and talking about home loans and stuff like that. I have no idea in the Thai language, but if somebody's just talking about their bedroom, they're talking about what's inside their kitchen, things that you every day put your hands on. I feel very comfortable talking about driving to the supermarket. How long does it take you? What do you need to buy at the supermarket today? Those type of conversations. Where do you live? Um, the vocabulary involves around that I'm very impressed, but I don't know everything. I would say right now my vocabulary level is probably a solid 3. Now that might surprise you when you're like, "Well, I thought you understand so much," but I want it to be so much better. So my passive vocabulary is quite large right now, but I want my active vocabulary to get higher. So there's a lot of words that I hear, and I know what the words are when I hear them now, but if I'm trying to think of a sentence and use it in a sentence, I wouldn't be able to instantly just pull it up. But my passive listening is fairly high. It's not at the average level where I want. Again, I still have quite a lot of studying to do. So right now, I would say my vocabulary from 0 to 10 is now a 3. It's moved from 0 to 3, and that is some type of progress. Remember, it's not where you are currently, it's where you're going. Now, listen, and that goes into listening comprehension. So, again, my listening comprehension, again, is probably again, another 3 to 4. I can hear so much and understand so much more now than when I first started my journey. So, put in perspective, even though I don't know 100% of the words spoken, I was at a Thai restaurant. My wife saw somebody who was also Thai who was expecting a baby. I was able to understand when they spoke Thai, that how old is, how far along is she being pregnant, what is the sex of her baby, where does she live, what school is she thinking about going to, when is she due, the month, and all those I was able to understand pretty much everything was going on in their conversation. My wife is trying to say to me, oh, she's due. I was like, yeah, in March. And she's like, it hit my wife. And I was like, wow, he actually understood the conversation. And that's what I'm getting at right now. So my comprehension ability of following what's going on is much higher than my active vocabulary. And I'm very impressed thus far with the method. And it's because the YouTube channel really focuses on using the exact same words in context over and over and over. Now, if you saw my past video about talking about, things you can do with the Thai language, I pointed out you could be a multilingual real estate agent. Now, again, I go inside of a home, I can't use every single word, but say if a Thai person was there and they needed to say, you know, the microwave or the oven, if they said the word for oven, I already know what the word is passively, but when I was there, I can't just automatically think about the word, but I can hear it and I instantly know what it is through the context of things. So listening comprehension, I'm very pleased with the results from using the YouTube channel thus far. Now, going into my active everyday ability with the Thai language, it's very limited still. So out of 0 to 10, I would still rank it only a 1 or a 2 to be quite honest, because again, my tones aren't 100% there. My ability to communicate every word that I can passively know is not 100% there as well. So I went into a Thai market. I asked them, was this, the pork, the grilled pork? I asked him in Thai. He was able to tell me it wasn't. He told me it was this other dish in Thai. And surprisingly, the guy just started speaking straight Thai to me. That kind of surprised me. Now, I didn't understand what the other dish was. I was just looking for the mu ping, but he started talking about this other dish that came with a soup and all this other stuff. And he started talking about when he's going to his next order, about next week, he would have more of this mu ping in stock. And I understand that part. When he's asking me about, what else am I looking for? And about these other Thai dishes. I don't know all the Thai dishes names and things in that nature, but I was able to convey basic information. I can ask where things are. I can talk very basics like a little baby at this point. But eventually, with the series, hopefully during my 75, 100 hours into the series, 1,000 hours, I can progress much further and be more fluid in my Thai language and put in a lot of trust in the series to actually follow through with things and be able to understand things completely. And I like to document this on the channel and just talk about the pros and cons of using this method because for one of the biggest negatives about this method is listening to videos that you don't have any interest in. And I don't know if people talk about this enough, but when they're talking about vegetables and fruits for so many episodes, to me, I have no interest in vegetables. I like, I like vegetables, but I'm not going to sit there for 20 to 30 minutes and listen about vegetables and vegetables and vegetables. And I feel like that's when I start zoning out. And those vegetable episodes that keep occurring on this channel cause me to lose focus. And I realized if I start with a vegetable uh, episode, my rest of my episodes won't be as focused and entertaining because the vegetable episodes just really dull everything. It makes my mind scatterbrained because I'm not interested in the content. It does have, some nice parts like my vegetable episode for today was about buying things in a supermarket, and out of nowhere we went from talking about carrots to going through a metal detector. And I'm like, what happened to a metal detector? It came out of nowhere. I'm over here thinking about carrots and cabbage, and out of nowhere we're talking about metal detectors. Like, it's great to introduce vocabulary, but it's just so mind-numbing talking about vegetables over and over. So this is a major drawback of the series. I want to see how it progresses. Hopefully in the rest of B1, I don't have that issue. Another drawback of the series thus far is that I don't find the episodes as entertaining with other teachers. There's two teachers that I like. When they switch it out to this other teacher, I don't find it as engaging. And because I don't find it engaging or interesting, again, I lose focus, especially if you're tired from work, you're tired from having kids, and you're just not engaged with the material. I don't see this method really working that well for people if you can't be engaged listening to the episodes. Now, everybody might be completely different, and you might think all the professors there are very engaging. I just personally find one combination of them to be less engaging than the ones that are currently the main focus on the B1 episodes. But a pro of this is that, again, you're getting a lot of repetition with the language, you're getting a lot of exposure with the language itself, and it's turning out to be quite nice. It's not bad. It's giving me a lot of exposure to the Thai language that I may have not have had just focusing on the regular textbooks. Would I still recommend the program after 50 hours? Of course. Is it going to get you where you want to be? Well, that's why you have to subscribe to this channel, because this is what we're going to be discussing. And as we progress, you're going to hear about how does it feel as you progress to the Comprehensible Thai channel. And hopefully this channel will be very comprehensive and will focus on everything that I've learned, the pros and cons of using my methods. Again, teach yourself, ask the meal, the Comprehensible Thai channel, colloquial Thai, comprehensible grammars. This channel is going to focus on everything in a journey of learning the Thai language, and it's not moving from just learning the Thai language, but aspects of how to actually apply it to your everyday life. And I feel like that's where a lot of people start learning these languages, but they have no clear goal or objective of how to make a living with these languages. And again, languages can be a great hobby. I always think whatever you do, try to make some type of money from it, monetize it, because if you just let it waste, there's a complete opportunity where you can actually generate revenue and build connections with people for business reasons. And that's why, some people, yes, they can learn 20, 30, 50 different languages, but unless you really put them in a practical way, I feel like that's where a lot of people, they wrap things around, but they can't, pull it to them and make it practical. And hopefully this channel will bring some practicality to the language learning atmosphere that's currently here, that language learning is just for hobbies with no clear directions or focus. So if you like content like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one right here.